healthy. Something I needed in my career, that's for sure. 12 rounds.
You hit him with some heavy shots, so were you surprised that he was still standing at the end? Yep.
Yeah. You were surprised?
I was,
I was very surprised, you know, I kept hitting with everything. And he's a warrior, man, Japanese warrior. Respect to him.
What do you take out of those 12 rounds if you are to take on the world title?
Just being able to grind it out the whole time, you know. I got used to these annihilations to get the rounds in with a durable opponent.
Yeah. Was that one of the reasons to take the fight? You knew you were going to get a pretty good challenge?
Yeah. Look, man, if you're in the top 5, 10, 15, of course it's going to be a challenge. You know, there's no such thing as easy fights at this level anymore.
How comfortable did you feel out there for the 12 rounds?
I felt like I won most. I think I felt like I won all the rounds in all honesty. I've got to rewatch it, but I was in control the whole time. I kept pressing forward. I didn't take a step back.
Were they the tactics all along, just to keep coming? And
Okay.
they were the tactics the whole time, just keep coming at him?
There's not much of a tactic. You just go in there and wing it, I guess.
What's the process now, Glenn?
Oh look, we'll sit down this week and see. There's a couple of things in the wind, and Matty and George and Timmy and myself have already discussed. But look, we are really hopeful and excited by the prospects that it may well be Brian Castano for the world title next. And it's just really a matter of time now, George. It could be any day we get a decision. And right now, the team feels, and Igor and all of us feel that Tim's ready for that. So that was a wonderful thing to do tonight. Timmy, like you said, needed that. It's good to do a 12-rounder in preparation for a Castano type fight.
So did that reinforce that for you? You felt after tonight that you're ready to make that step up for a world title?
Yeah, I felt like I needed to go 12 rounds. You know, I've done these 10 rounders, but 12 rounds, I needed to feel that distance. And man, I did it with ease. In all honesty, I was fresh.
How did he compare, Tim, to some of your previous opponents? How did it feel in there?
Just more durable. You know, every style's so different. You know, you just got to be able to adapt. But he was just durable. You kept hitting him, and he just didn't go down. You know, I heard him squealing. Usually when people squeal, they go on the floor and they're squealing on the floor. This guy was squealing and staying up.
What do you think in the fifth when he turned away from you and sort of walked away and you got him a good one?
Yeah, I chased him. Yeah.
10,000 people here, how did that atmosphere compare to past fights?
Unreal, man. Unreal. I'm 27 years old and still I'm pinching myself to be able to walk out to 10,000 screaming fans all on my side. It's pretty crazy. Everything's happening so quick. It's pretty cool to be at this stage of my career.
What about the entrance? Was the entrance your idea?
No, it's these boys.
Enjoyed it?
No show like a no limit show. That's it. It's just the way it is. These guys outdo themselves on Tim's entry every time.
Is it Tim?
Let's look us through the murky world of boxing politics. Like, you know, there's talk about Charlo,
Sure.
Potentially Castano, rematch. Like, what do you?
Oh, look, in a nutshell, there's 2 divisions, and there's
Yeah.
2 champions, and they had a draw. So they have an option for a rematch, and it has to be decided in a certain time. In the meantime, both those associations say you must fight the #1 contender. Now, if there's no rematch, the mandate goes forward, but the rematch has the ability to override that. So right now, we're expecting one of the divisions, the IBF, are going to make Charlo fight Mertzalayev in January. Now, if that happens, the WBO will most likely follow suit and say, okay, Castano, you now have to fight Tim. And that's what we're hoping for. And that should be pretty soon, eh, George?
Yeah, we'll put a bit of work into that. We'll make sure that's the #1 priority,
Yeah.
definitely. But
Yeah.
I mean, tonight Tim showed that he's world class. It's a fight that them champions aren't going to want to borrow of because he's ready to go. He's ready to go. He's the next world champion.
George, what are the prospects of that fight being held in Australia?
Mate, we'll push as hard as we possibly can. We've shown that we're capable of putting on big events. Tonight was off its head. It was unreal. And it's only going to be bigger with a world title. It's only going to be bigger. So we're capable of hosting that calibre of events here, and we're going to push as hard as we possibly can to make sure it happens.
Tim, what do you expect? What do you expect the result would be if you did fight Castano for the WBO?
I'm ready to go for victory.
How are you feeling, mate? Did it take a bit out of you tonight?
No, I'm alright. I'll go another
He
12
wants to go
rounds.
get a hamburger.
I'll go another 12 rounds. I'm easy. I felt good, that's the main thing, you know. I remember coming back to my corner and I was like, man, I'm sweet, man. Breathing's fine. My legs are sweet, like, everything's cracker.
If the Casano fight happened, would you guys go over there or?
Yeah. The boys want to be here, but I wouldn't mind going there. It's always been a dream of mine to, as a young kid growing up, watching boxing on the big screen, to go to the States. And I think it should be taken in the States and then brought back here the right way.
Is the world title the non-negotiable thing, Glenn? I mean, 'cause I know Castano said, probably need a couple more fights. This was a fight you probably didn't need to take.
Well, that's why they have mandates, and that's why associations have their own bylaws that say they must enforce them in a certain time frame. The only murky waters here is the rematch. And look, let's be honest, if those boys sat and watched what happened tonight, Tim doing 12 rounds like that, they're probably thinking it's an easier option to rematch than to take the mandates. But, you know, George and Matty have been non-stop on those associations to make sure that they get the best outcome for Tim. So we let No Limits deal with that, and we just wait for the nod as to which path we're going. Make no mistake, if that was to fall over, Tim will be fighting again in February or March regardless, and we won't wait for him.
And that's a credit to Tim. If they're not going to allow him that shot, he'll just keep fighting his way to the top. Like he's got to the position that he is in now, he'll just keep fighting his way to the top.
Who do you look at if it's not a title fight?
There are a few options on the card. If we do have to travel overseas for that fight, that's fine by us. As Timmy said, he's pretty keen to head overseas. I think we're all pretty keen to head overseas now that the borders are open. So, you know, for us, it's the next best option. Keep growing, keep preparing for that world title.
At the same time, it's pretty cool to be able to do 10,000 here in Sydney, especially for the fans. Good to have all you guys media covering everything here. So I think it's great for Australian boxing and Australian sports in general to be doing shows here. So,
I think if it's non-mandatory, there's a little twinkle in the eye of the Rose Boys that we might run again in Australia. Because there are some names that have come up who said they will come. Maybe not after tonight's performance, but we'll see. But yeah, Castano is digging his heels in. He doesn't want to come to Australia. He wants it in America. So let's see. It'll either be Castano or someone else. And George and Matty will make sure that the best out. We'd love to do another one here. We'd also like to do one in Las Vegas. So we'll see.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.